Here are the top 8 essential level exercises on the STOTT Pilates Stability Chair. These should be for all levels. All right, so starting off, we're going to do some elephants or pike. So you're going to need 2 heavy low, 2 light springs on the pedals. Pedals are together. Ball of the foot is on the pedals, and you reach your hands back toward the back corners of the chair. Slightly weight transfer forward, so you're over the hands, and we're going to pike up, leading from the low tummy and tail until our hips go high above our shoulders. We do want the pedals to make their way all the way to the top where you can hear just a subtle release of the spring. That is when you know you have made it to the top. If you can't get all the way up there on your own, maybe you'll adjust the springs. I love to add a little tricep bend into there if you want to increase the fire on this exercise. Like, it's not hard enough, but you can always make it a little more exciting with a tricep bend. All right, and then these also can be done sideways. So now we're doing the oblique version. So same here, except you pivot your feet to both point the same direction, leaving the hands in the back corners of the mat. You'll feel that low on the oblique by the hip, challenging keeping the heels flat. Now take the hands and corner them. So now when you lift, the same as before, it isolates the ribs, the obliques as they're over the rib cage. So the top of that insertion there on the internal oblique. Same, of course, on the opposite side. So notice that you're going to try and keep your heels down. One hand on each edge of the back of the chair's seat. Heels stay flat. You're maintaining the hips sideways to the chair as your shoulders and trunk face square up. Then again, put the hands in the back corner and just really isolate where the oblique inserts at the rib cage. So notice that that really shifts where you're going to feel it into the obliques. So that is one of my favorite exercises that you can possibly do on the chair. I'll do it always in my personal practice and in most of my classes. All right, leaving the same springs, 2 heavy low, 2 light top, we'll go right into that calf work or these ankle exercises. So right under the patella is a little notch. Just anchor the knee right there on the seat's edge and just point and flex. This is perfect alignment for the soleus. So we have 2 calf muscles. The soleus is the one that works when our knee is bent, and that is what is working here, versus a standing straight-legged calf raise. That would be the gastroc. So we're doing a different calf muscle. So excellent for building stability and strength in the ankle. If you're recovering from any kind of foot or ankle injury, I love this exercise. Let's leave the heel flat on the standing leg. Fingertips light on the seat, your core is engaged and your body is really supporting itself by its muscle versus leaning heavily onto the hands as we're doing the ankle exercises. So this is one that you don't want to skip, especially in the essential repertoire. All right, so next we will split the pedals. It's easiest to do from the front. So remove the little metal tab across the front, and then we're going to adjust the springs. So for a smooth transition, we're just going to drop the light springs off, leaving the 2 red bottoms, and we'll move into number 4, the scapula isolation. So with this one, you start with your back and your legs parallel with the floor, hip and pubic bone pushing down. We bend the elbows narrow next to the rib cage, lifting the pedals as high as they can go to really target the upper thoracic area. So moving into a rotation, or no rotation, excuse me, but we're doing a reciprocal movement here in the arms. This can lead into a little bit of rotation. I love the rotation. It gets down in the lats where they meet the obliques. Trying to maintain that your feet and legs are still as you are doing this. Rotate and rotate. I love this here. Then open up those feet, go into your swan. So we get so much forward flexion during our day. This is often one of the few exercises that we have an opportunity to really go through some back extension. That's in a safe way. The wider the feet, the more mobile it is in the low back. And then it's always nice to give a little counter stretch. So once you finish, go ahead and put your feet on the earth, grab the edge of the seat, and give yourself a lovely traction after doing some of that extension. It feels so lovely. All right, so next, we're going to put those pedals right back together, and we're going to go into some side lying work. So we're going to switch our springs. one heavy low, one light top. And we're going to lay right on top of the seat, pushing our hand down, making sure not to pinch the fingers. Shoulder above the hands, legs in a straight line. You can put your hand on the handle, on the waist, or up. All right, so we're just doing a little bit of threading here on that side body. Rotation, a little bit of side bending here. So trying to keep your back nice and straight. We're just threading under and then reaching. And we just rotate rib cage and up. You can certainly hold on to the handle and just move the shoulders, as it's much more challenging to do it without holding on altogether. Shifting right into mermaid. So now you're going to have one foot on the floor, laterally stretching over, adding a little rotation downward towards the ground. Shift that stretch across the QL and the low back. So lovely. So, of course, we do that on both sides because that feels so lovely. Okay, number 8, the torso press sitting. Make sure your butt is near that back edge, and then your hands are on the pedals with your fingers pointing towards your buns, and you lead with your low back on the way down. A little bit of a trust exercise here, but you get a lot of shoulder extension. Scoop the tummy in as you roll back. If you are spotting someone doing this, you'll place your hand gently on the upper back. Adding that tricep move, it actually looks like triceps and it feels like abs. So those of you who have done this one know that those low abs are on fire. Finish with that perfect balance. This one can also be done in a little bit more challenging fashion. The same, only with the straight teaser legs or straight 100 legs. So again, leading from the low back, down we go, and then think forward flexion. Low back leads the way, crunch forward. After you've done, 6 to 8, we add that tricep, maintain that position where you are, and just push and bend the elbows and coming all the way up without lowering the legs. Find that teaser finish, and then carefully come down with control. So those are my favorite 8 exercises on the chair. See you next time.